that if you shower coins,
Yeah, I mean, some of you guys
that
made the
rank and file,
best out of the moment
bandits
of.
will totally take off.
Well, I was also offered the same sort of thing.
The dear
I
doctor
was
totally
offered-
convinced them that
I
those arrows just happened to be
cured
happening.
the king and was offered a large, very, very large portion for that. But they wouldn't accept that either. So, I think we need to trick them.
Physician, thy
Okay.
devious self.
Hey, now, come on.
Do you
So
have
you
a
guys,
thought in
the
mind
camera kind of
for-
pans in as you have a private tent moment, because there's only one person in the tent, that needs medical attention, and that's your boy. So you guys are gonna have a private confab.
We could convince
Well,
them
your little
that
rogue goes to make
if
sure.
they would abandon their quest to conquer
Yep, you had enough of a
Citadel,
breather that everybody's at full strain.
maybe
And
we
thankfully,
could arrange for
Sliga
a
is going to
mutually
totally make sure the coast is
beneficial
clear so you guys can have a confab.
arrangement so that they could protect the city
What's
for
that?
a similar amount.
Sliga is Talia's character. Yeah.
Interesting idea.
Yep.
Oh no.
Just
Yep,
a matter of
it's
talking
Mal.
and convincing
That was
the
her backup
crowds
character.
over the warlord.
Of course. It's a thought. The math works out. I promise you that.
Well, you guys join them is the way they look at it. They're grateful in that fact that you joined their family. So it's like we're one big happy family.
That. Come on. I know what I'm talking about.
The physician.
Well,
is
nobody's
saying,
really
"We
feeled
can
them
do
out,
it.
have they?
I have the math behind me. Look at my abacus.
I can prove that they can afford it.
So, is there any last minute?
So the next day, our doctor's going to try to do medicine for reals because his previous attempt wasn't that great.
I mean,
I can't think of anything else, honestly, that I can do other than just kind of let them know when they're coming.
Except their friends.
That was one of the family members of the war band that you find out are actually innocent civilian types that you actually did really well.
As long as we don't make them kill.
Yeah, exactly. Like, as long as we don't.
I mean, I guess you could try to take care of Loverboy.
Can we get information on their troops and how they're typically deployed before they show up? I know we're trying to trick them, but that might be useful knowledge.
The one Amazon totally not creeped out by you, but and secretly kind of liking you, totally says usually the majority of the bandits are kept back at the camp, and just a crack unit is deployed along with the.
As you actually open your eyes and say, "What hit me?"
Usually he's sent out to make a big show of things, and she usually is known for doing like I was doing, which is creeping up on the flanks and supporting from a distance.
Right, and now it's about the time where we figure out exactly what will cause them to break.
Well, what he's saying is the crack units are going to come here, not the masses. So that doesn't do us any good unless we slip to the camp.
How do we bring the mass here? They would know that.
Well, that's what they're saying is the masses of the group are basically camp followers.
Yep, so
And
it's complete balance in the
force. They wouldn't go up to the confrontation. They would show up later to scavenge the dead.
So what you're saying is basically the ones coming are not going to be the
all of a sudden
ones we
like,
can
do I really want to do that?
Correct?
No,
no.
They're totally bribable.
Okay.
They are just a bunch of bandits that we picked up a few weeks ago.
It's because you're a demigod and you're doomed.
What about the Amazon Queen? What is her deal?
Oh, they're not just going to give that information.
Oh, come on. I saved her. Come on. I saved
Obviously, one of your godly cousins
I'll give you a blue on that.
thinks you needed to learn a lesson. Maybe they just thought you're too big for your britches.
They still have loyalty.
And
to her.
yep, I've got the upgrade in there for you.
Part of their shtick there.
Really?
You gonna go with a coercion or a possible leadership role, or flat out deception to trick her into saying something?
Flip a thing because I can't find the right thing.
That's not bad, HMO.
Oh, I'll totally flip a thing.
Flip, flip, flip. For me, not for you, jerk.
I mean, if I flip, it's in the wrong direction. So I've got you upgraded.
Thank you. Alright. What the heck? Okay, sorry.
Position you did. Heal divine self.
Them that
self is him.
The right thing to do. To end bloodshed.
Okay. They're totally willing to listen.
For the 3 advantages, yes, you could.
So what role is it?
So if you're being all honest like that, it would probably be a charm roll.
Uh-oh.
What's the most debilitating?
Unless you want to push towards coercion to give them that
No.
I'm trying to do the right thing.
Nope. Cool. Charm. Ooh. Well, not.
And how many purples is
that? Not quite.
Oh,
so
look at that. I don't even have to change the dice pool. It's 3 purple and 1 upgrade.
I
like that one. I don't have to change
word of
anything.
honor to her that I would always protect her from herself. And I extend my word of honor to you that I will be loyal.
He is horrible in a people situation, fantastic in a body situation.
Don't make us have to go back on our word that we have given previously.
I will do no such
I can't give away such good crunchiness. I'll give you one of his other crits of his choice for one of them. How about that?
The suggestion in the line of the character becoming predisposed to assist. Like
Don't mind me smacking a mouse. Apparently, I dropped soda on my keyboard and mouse for my work computer today, and the mouse is not working. It's mousing, but it's not clicking.
It's totally like, you should have that big guy challenge the war.
Only when you gotta click
single
everything.
Combat. He's all cocky and stuff. He'll fall for that.
Big guy, as in the Chris big guy?
Yep.
Alright.
What would you like for that second try?
Just
healing him up for...
beware the warlord wields a
I would go for hit
club
points. That's just me.
Carved from a tree that was struck by
I would go for hit points, but that's
according
me.
to the warlord is God's touched.
I will not tell him that.
And on his left arm,
I mean, let's put it this way. You only healed like half of his bar. For the other triumph, I will give you the rest of that bar.
I will not tell him
He takes a beating and apparently recovers quickly.
So set him up for success. Great.
I'll tell him this. That
Bard's like, that totally saves my magic.
And he may try to mess around with you. So watch out for treachery. But take him down. You got this.
As all of a sudden, everyone outside the tent just hears the torch being put to your wounds to cauterize them, and the excruciating pain of his physical therapy. No, we need to snap that knee back into place.
We can definitely
Seriously,
try starting with the one-to-one combat if you feel you can potentially work it.
You got this?
Oh, I can work it, and I'm going to start flexing and posing.
And just as you flex and pose, you guys totally hear a signal. Now the question is, Talia,
Yes.
give a perception check.
Okay. Does anybody want me to do something before I do this check?
I trust your perception check.
I'm asking the rest of the party who knows this game better than me.
I don't know what your skills or what that you might have are.
It's like Evan's giving you a free upgrade. Don't roll
yet. It's been done, so.
Okay. The next day, and you hear some distant cheering of kids playing in the war camp.
Story points go so quick.
People sleeping it off because they drank and partied all night.
Right.
So all of a sudden, what would you like for those 3 advantage?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know what this perception check is for.
So, well, that's the problem. You failed it, so you don't know what the perception check is for.
What else might you have noticed or something? Or
okay, so like, can it be for if something comes directly towards me?
Come on.
Or
I know someone can challenge me.
You don't need good notes. Why would you need good notes?
Noticing something coming towards you, because there will be something eventually.
What is a secondary effect?
I think that was just Evan hinting at what you could use the 3 advantage for.
Okay, I don't know what a secondary.
I know we didn't get paid.
Yeah, the payment was for when we get there, when we resolve the situation.
The money's there and waiting for you in all those big silver platters. Your weight in gold.
Yeah, but I thought she made some suggestion on how we could resolve it without the city being sacked, but I don't remember the whole conversation around drinking and partying and wooing and stuff, so.
Because I do believe they were pretty much just wanting you to join their numbers, so that way you could contribute to the, hey, we've beaten your champions. Or, better yet, your champions have joined our side.
Yeah. Didn't.
So.
Isn't the king dying anyway?
No, I fixed him up pretty good.
Somebody gave him
some
great medical care.
So, based on what I saw of the city, and based on what I know about like what they want from, like, you know, they demanded some outrageous sum from the city, right?
Yeah.
As like a ransom to save the city. Now, based on what I saw there,
exact amount of what you're getting paid.
Maybe that was what I was thinking is, we could go back and take that money and give it to them to settle it. I think maybe that's what I was thinking.
The master plan was to give them half the money. You take half the money, and you call it even Stevens's.
Yeah, that seems to ring a bell.
That actually makes that's actually a kind of good idea, I think.
Which means, we're not going to have all kinds of money, but that's all right. Solves the issue.
We'll get half. Half is better than none. And we avoid the bloodshed. That's the most important part. We avoid the bloodshed.
Well, yeah, prevents the city from being sacked.
Then again, he did kidnap and
Well, you don't know about that
sell.
part. Your friend is just missing.
Okay.
He took off in the night and never came back.
Isn't that typical? He probably went on a bender.
But yeah, it saves the commoners from being all caught up in bullshit from, the upper people.
So okay.
Okay.
So if we were to agree to that, we would have to go back to the king and either A, convince him that the job was already done and collect our reward, convince him in some way, or
challenge him to single combat?
No, because we saw how that went.
Well, I think he's talking about the king.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To which you would then say, why did you fix his critical injury?
So I can see this going. I mean, basically, we'll have to A, convince the army to go away in order to go collect the reward in the first place.
Yep. You totally will have to get them to disband and go away and somehow prove that you took out the warlord.
No. Basically, it was a matter of stopping the invasion, right? It wasn't.
Yeah, you didn't have to kill him, but you just had to stop it and come back with some kind of proof.
Yes.
So
all we have to do is convince them that we're trustworthy enough to go get the money and come back and pay them.
Right, that's easy enough. But as far as the king, we don't have to sneak around about it. Go, look, you give us our reward. We're going to give the reward to them to save the city. So we'll be even bigger heroes and we're good to go.
Yeah.
No reason to lie about it.
True. I think the bigger issue is convincing the marauders that we're trustworthy enough to go get the money and bring it to them.
Well, I had her pretty wooed,
if we bring
so we should be fine.
We could also bring the Amazons with us to the ones that are on our side to come with us, and so they can report to the king that their army is disbanding. So that would that way the Amazon would trust us because she had her 2 henchmen with us.
That is very possible. Yeah.
So that could be, their way of quote unquote keeping an eye on us to make sure we don't do any funny business.
Sure.
And will the Amazon lady be satisfied with money, or is she?
Well, I think that was one of the discussions.
Yeah, that was one of the things you guys figured out is she's literally just here for the cold hard cash. She's not here for any moral high ground or anything. The king is a douche, and anything that hurts the king, she would totally be cool with. But unfortunately, she, her whole plan was just to get money and feed the hungry.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Yeah, so and I think splitting is a totally fair deal.
Yeah, no reason to sack the city, and so it's a win-win. I'm sure she'll be just fine.
So, can we make a makeshift warlord crown or whatever they wear to bring back as proof?
Yeah, the warlord's helmet.
Yeah.
Or we could just, like I said, bring the 2 Amazons with us, and therefore they will feel the warlord will feel safe backing off from the city because they have eyes on us.
Right.
We don't have to lie, like you said.
We will, and as far as the king's concerned, we tell them the truth that we struck a bargain, and this is what you need to give us our, reward, and then the army will go about their business and leave. And the 2 Amazon chickies can help vouch for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought the Amazons were going with us so that the head Amazon would trust us.
Well, there is that. It's a two-way street.
Oh,
they're going to help provide confidence for her, but also we can utilize them on the other end and confirming the bargain being made and such.
Two birds with 2 birds. I like it.
Right.
That's about the smartest thing you've said.
As long as you don't piss your girlfriend off before we get this all done.
Yeah, so maybe you should do the talking.
So it's just on the trip back, just be nice and don't get over flirty with her and piss her off some more.
I mean, she is falling for my.
She is, but let's
charms.
not. She is, but let's not, over push it until we.
Oh, I don't over push anything. Moderation is my middle name.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Blood flow in moderation.
Exactly.
Okay, so you guys let them know, hey, we'll be back. We'll be coming back with gold. And
present the plan to her.
So our little bard, how are you going to present the plan? Are you going with like deception, with charm, with leadership?
No, I've already charmed. Yeah, I've already charmed her. I'm going to just continue to charm her.
Okay.
Tell her the truth.
You basically, you fess up with her. Hey, here's the best equitable idea. We go back, we say we beat you, and get the reward, and come back and give you the reward.
Well, no, we struck a bargain, and yes, we are going to claim the reward, and we'll pay you, and then go from there.
And her face gets kind of squirrely when you're like, we struck a bargain, and she's like, what do you mean by we struck a bargain?
You're getting the money that you want to leave the kingdom, and not cause mayhem to the innocents that live within the city. Just because the king may not be the most advantageous person doesn't mean that you need to cause harm to the rest of the city and those poor innocent folk living within the city that have nothing to do with it, just like your folk. You'll get your money, and we'll call it good.
And you're in her war tent where it's got the big long table where all her high mucky mucks play, as well as the guy who was playing the warlord is totally playing with some kids in the corner with some stuffed animal looking toys. And she waves you to lean close to her real quick.
Sure.
And she's like, and you're sure telling him that we would take coin and just go away is gonna work? She gives you kind of this questioning glance.
I'm sure he will be content with that, because I don't believe he wants war. It doesn't behoove his position within the city well if the city was to get ransacked. So I think he'll do what needs to be done, and he can keep it as quiet as he wants how you were run off first, as or paid off, however that may work.
And
but we must think of the innocent people.
Ooh, she's throwing out the innocents. She totally agrees with you and kind of gestures to some of her leadership that's there, and she says, "He's right. That's why I love this satyr." And she leans over and rubs your hair in a way that reveals the horns, just a hint. And she says, "So you know what to do. We need camp broken before 9 bells, and we're going to move." And she whips out this map and throws it down on the table there next to her breakfast. and she shows that they're going to travel 5 miles this direction on the other side of a little hill and make another camp there that should be out of sight. And first rule is there'll be no fires to give away their location. And everybody kind of agrees. A couple folks go running off to tell people to start breaking down their tents and packing out because the warlord's been scared off. Yuck, 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 yuck. As she leans back towards you guys and says, "And you sure this will work?"
I'm quite confident we can convince him of said plan.
Excellent. Anything that requires no bloodshed and gets coin, I am all for that kind of plan.
Exactly. And then we can proceed to have parties and take care of the people. And your 2 young ladies can come with to testify to the plan, and for your comfort that we're not going to play any slight on you.
And she kind of looks at you and and then looks at them, and she kind of gives you a hint of a jealous look, by the way. You get the hint that the squint she gives you is totally one of those of, oh, now you want them at your side? But she doesn't say anything. She just gives you that little condescending look that ladies can do.
Well, they're only there to protect yourself, and so that you can feel comfortable that I play no tricks other than maybe in bed.
Oh, and she kind of gives you the bedroom eyes when you say that. She definitely gives you a look.
And they can vouch as your representatives on your word of leaving the city B.
And she basically, leans over and says, "Okay, I will trust your connivingness to get yourself in and out of any trouble you need to get into, and just promise me these 2 ladies aren't going to come to any harm."
Of course not. I would never let that occur. And I'm quite confident that they will be in good hands with Ethereum taking care of them.
I'll take good care of them.
Is it Argonon?
No, I'm Argonon.
I'm Ethereum.
You're Argonon. Oh, you're Ethereum. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Because obviously the doctor has been drinking too much.
Right? Well, inhaling a little too much of the herbs and concoctions as he's been mixing.
He mixed that green and red herb like Resident Evil.
That's the secret to good medicine.
Right?
You gotta taste like a chef, right?
One for the patient and one for the doctor.
As she's like, then we have a plan, and everyone drinks, lifts up their wine glasses and has their breakfast wine and says, "To the plan!" And she basically says, "So I'm trusting you here."
Yep.
And she looks over at the big guy, and he kind of stands up, and he comes over and totally puts a very friendly hand on Ethereum's shoulder and says, "We no fight no more. You fight real good. You take good punch.
You hit real good."
Yeah, me hit real good. And he hits the table, makes this huge thump that makes the table jump.
I'm gonna hit the table and try and thump it so it jumps a little bit higher.
Ooh, competition. Do me a favor. Give me an athletics roll.
Wow.
You're
still recovering.
Pats you on the back and says, "You'll get stronger soon." And goes back to flop down next to the kids and plays.
Actually, before that happens, Taha wants to do a quick mental calculation to figure out what the most buoyant spot on the table is.
Wow. The most buoyant place on the table.
The most flexible portion of the table, like the most flexible board or whatever.
Okay, so go ahead and give me your check. There's a black dice because the table is full of plates and food and drinks. What's the worst that can happen?
Can't really tell.
Because obviously it was a table made by barbarians.
Right.
You were
It all
expecting
looks
a
flexible.
perfect table, and it's just like planks and doors laid down on top of each other to make a table. I mean, this probably was part of a peasant's house at one point.
Nice.
As
Or
all the
peasant.
best tables are.
So I'm like, to good health, and slam down the remainder of my drink.
And then I'd just like to glance around and see if anybody is in need of medical attention. I want to, get some goodwill points here.
There is a small, sickly, grandmother-like lady.
All right. Well,
Do you want to use
I'll
your
go see what I can do.
on her?
Nope, just medicine.
That's what they all call it.
Okay. Could I pass myself a blue with that science roll, since I maybe inspecting the table, I also noticed her out of the corner of my eye.
Honestly, she must have distracted you because the way she bent over and made a painful oh as you were looking. You're just like, oh, you poor lady. I must do medicine on you. The power of
Yep.
not an oath I can take yet because Hippocrates isn't around yet. Maybe you'll just change your name to his secretly.
Hey, maybe. The Taha Binson there both. All right. Yeah, so I'll go do a little medicine on her with an extra blue.
Okay, I got it in there for you.
Whoa!
As
Okay.
you do something good with those 5 advantages, but her medical condition will require, weeks of good soup and good physical therapy and maybe some hot bath treatment. Do you know of any place with springs, special springs? That's what you need.
At least he didn't do any harm.
There's nothing. Okay, so if there's nothing I can do at the moment, right now there's nothing I can do to fix her. Could I spend some of those to give her a treatment plan that will gradually get her better? With the resources that are available.
Yep, you totally tell her you need to find. Did you hear about those hot springs that are up in the mountains? You need to go there.
So yeah, give her a prescription.
Vesuvius Springs. Nothing bad can happen to you there.
Yes.
You cripple the poor
lady.
That
would have been bad. Yeah, so give her like a prescription of something she can do to help her, but also how many do you want for that?
Just 3.
Okay, can I use the other 2 just to kind of maybe help her to feel more comfortable for a little while?
Yeah, you give her strain back.
Just kind of alleviate some of her fatigue. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. You take away some of the strain that she suffers normally.
All right.
I feel like a spring chicken now. I got strain back. Hey.
I feel like I could do anything. Ow.
Well, follow those instructions.
Yeah.
Get somebody to take you there.
Goes from wonder healer to don't know what I'm doing.
Hey, she's old. What can you do?
Okay. You only heal young people. I see how it works.
No, there's no cure for old.
It's a degenerative age issue. It's not something that medicine can cure. Only alleviate.
I don't know. I heard those Egyptians are supposed to be all fancy with medicine. Cure anything, but guess not.
Oh, man, why you gotta bust my chops?
All right. We got a plan.
Well, there's a plan. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you totally have the plan. As you guys are like seeing them start to break camp, and you start heading back to town. As who's the awesome survivalist that knows the way back to town from here?
I know geography.
That would
That's
work.
probably the better person.
Yeah. I mean,
At
the
Fort
worst part
Greens,
is
anyway.
everyone's like, "Where's Drakus with that map?"
Right. I mean, I'm 3 green in survival. I'm not awful, but I bet, our geologists probably be better.
Well, I've got 4 greens or a yellow and 2 greens. I'm not sure which one to go with.
Whichever has a better dice pool.
That is the first step of my plan, to make you second guess and doubt which one you should go with.
I'll just use geography. I mean, we've come and went, so I hope it's not too hard. Ready?
Yep. Hey,
Okay.
so you're just like, I know the way, and everybody follows you, and just like clockwork, half a day's march to the west by southwest, you totally come over the rise, and you see the city gates up ahead. So you see the city gates. I'm assuming you guys are heading towards them, right?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And your young Amazon friends are like, "Are you sure this is a good idea?"
Of course, we're heroes. We've got our waiting gold waiting for us.
Okay. So what do we do if things go south?
I don't see them doing that, but we will need to have you divest yourself of your bows and that. We will keep them and have them ready in case. But like I said, I do not see that being the case. But you need to be seen as envoys, not armed individuals.
And
I'll tell them I will do everything in my power to make sure you no harm comes to you.
Yeah.
Totally gives you that look like envoys or prisoners.
No, you'll be free. We're not, binding you or anything like that.
As they both totally look at each other, and you can just sense the distrust. As these gals have been treated wrong in the past, but they're like, "We'll trust you. Just don't make us regret trusting you."
Nope.
Also, the city's to the west, so there's no reason for us to go south.
I'm just gonna start walking.
He tries to be clever. He thinks sometimes.
Southwest, I might add.
Terrible.
As you guys get closer and closer to the gates, they keep getting bigger and bigger, and you can make out the little ants are actually centurions up on the gate wall. As immediately when you guys get within shouting distance, you totally hear the shouts of somebody, and they totally are basically saying, "Identify yourself."
We are whatever we were referenced as. I forget. I think there was some
the heroes of spring.
Yeah, we return with
heroes.
news and seek audience with his grace.
Ah, messenger, go tell the king the heroes have returned. They seem to be victorious. I don't like the way he says seemed. As immediately the guy yells down and says, light the lights. These are the heroes returned. Open the gates and let them in. And immediately, you hear the hustle and bustle of the gates and people starting to call. And guy runs out and totally unbars the little door instead of the big gates and totally lets you guys in the little door. And
Yeah.
your two friends totally give like a silent look to each other, and they seem kind of impressed. Maybe they thought you were just joking about these people, but you're getting the
Right.
VIP treatment here. Is immediately a guard shows up with a couple flasks of water and a couple flasks of wine, and he totally hands them out, saying, "You must have been traveling for a while."
It's been a rough several days.
Does he hand them to the Amazon women as well?
He only hands it to you three heroes.
No.
I will.
Weren't there
I
more
take
of
a
you when
swig.
you left?
Yeah, they're taking care of some other business yet. And I take a swig and pass it on to one of the Amazon ladies.
And I was gonna do the very same thing, and I'll say, let us, please let's show our guests hospitality.
And as you say that, one of you three give me a vigilance check.
Not my best thing.
Yeah, I would have left just them alone in the conversation with these flunkies, but oh well. I have 3 green.
I've got a yellow and a green.
I'll
Work
totally let
together.
you two work together, which will give you one upgrade.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the one upgrade in there.
All right.
And,
so my dice with the upgrade. All right. Oh, look at you.
It might be interesting to bring some balance back to the force.
Sure. All right. You ready?
Yep.
Oh no.
Nothing seems wrong at all.
No, not at all.
Why would it be?
As immediately the captain of the guard says, yes, we must show hospitality to our guests. And he goes back and grabs another wineskin and hands it right to the ladies.
And I will go ahead and take that from them. Thank you. And here's my other wineskin for you. And please lead on.
I take it you're using those 2 advantages to swap the bottle, the wineskins?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you drink from said wineskin?
I do not.
What do you do with said wineskin?
I just carry it.
You're so untrustworthy. Okay, so as
I've been around the court and stuff a bit.
As you guys you're going in the route, who has the best survival?
I have a yellow and 2 green.
That probably sounds the best to me.
Yep,
probably.
Yep.
Yeah, and I also want to be I want to be sticking close to the Amazons, so should anything arise, I'm right there.
Okay, look at you using chivalry. You're like 1,000 years too soon for chivalry, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me your survival check.
Okie dokie. I gotta do this. I don't know what's happening, but I'm getting a little paranoid.
Aw, don't be paranoid.
That's his plan.
So go ahead and make that roll, Mr. Paranoid.
Survival.
We just need a couple more. Oh, that's just as good as a failure. I mean, at least it wasn't like threat. Think of it that way. As they're
Think of yourself as well balanced.
And just remember, this is like the second time you've been in town, and the first time you were hungover when you left. So
I wasn't.
Well, collectively as a group, I mean. So you're being led around town, and it seems to take not really noticeably longer, but a lot longer than maybe it should have. You're not quite sure. But finally, you get to the top of the city, little hill that has the king's little plaza, and people are immediately like throwing some streamers out at you, and some banners have been put up there with some of your names on them, and the people are cheering that they have taken out the warlord and saved our city.
I'm gonna wave to the crowd and smile and accept all the accolades.
I'm just gonna, do a quick peek around.
So are you using deception or charm there, little demigod? You are made for the people's admiration, after all.
I am. I'm using charm.
Okay, go ahead and give me your charm roll, as you are totally knowing that this is not your first parade, so you know how to be with the crowd. You are totally embracing this shit.
Elbow, wrist, right?
I am well balanced.
Wow.
At some point, he gets distracted with his bicep, and then some little washerwoman, and starts flexing his bicep for the washerwoman, and then the Amazon chick totally elbows you, saying, "Knock it off." You're being creepy again. Knock it off.
Hey, see, she likes you. See, that's the sign.
She wants me for herself.
As eventually you guys are led into the palace area, and there's the king is sitting in his little court, and he's got all his generals and higher echelon folks there ready and waiting, sitting in their chairs. There's servants galore with platters of food and wine, and of course off behind his throne you see the very large 5 piles of treasure.
And as I come in, I am playing a gallant tune.
In that case, give me a performance. I just want to see if you can pull the crowd. I got a blue dice in there for you because they recall how good you are.
Yeah. Performance. We don't actually have performance here, so. Let's see. What are we looking at? So gold duggery? No, I don't know.
Probably go with charm, I'm thinking.
Charm, I guess. Yeah. All right. So
is it that or is it verse?
Yeah, it could go with the knowledge verse.
Yeah, true. True.
Oh, and you wanting an upgrade? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah. He's seen the way the dice are rolling.
He is not trusting the act of upgrading the negative dice or just the dice in general.
Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
Yeah, use my verse. So, boom, look at that.
Oh, okay. So you have a nice, lively tune going. The feels in the room are going real well in your general direction as you're playing this cool, the victorious warriors went to war and came back marching song. As you're just, you're totally in your zone. Everyone is looking at you, and that is your zone.
Yep.
And your music kind of puts a little lofty step in anyone that hears its feet. And the king, you totally see him slapping his hand against the armrest on his throne. That he's digging what you're selling. That tune is totally catchy. You totally see the queen kind of hum along at one point. That
nice.
queen.
So I will, with the advantage, I will give myself a blue and a blue for the next person to go.
Okay, so you basically have some good mojo surrounding you for the future, and whoever opens their mouth first gets some good mojo. as the king says, "My heroes, my conquerors of evil, tell me how you destroyed the warlord and returned back to us victorious with these," and he kind of does this hand gesture of trophies, and he gives, our big, strong muscle man a lecherous look with a wink. And a couple of the generals do that whole grab their cups and kind of bang their cups and cheer to you.
Good king, how's your health?
Since your physician friend helped me, my ailments seem to be clearing up. I, in fact, am, I believe, healthier than the mad-eating horses of Stefia. Right, wife? And he gives her this lecherous look, like Daddy done got some last night.
So I was hoping that might, make him a little bit more receptive to whatever is going to be said next by our talkie guy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so...
Hopefully, butter him up a little bit, or remind him that it did him solid.
Tell us of your victories.
Yes, well, they have been tamed. Your Grace.
And he gives the women a lecherous look.
The horde was more operating on their own than the warlord controlling things. The people were merely downtrodden and desperate. So we have brokered an agreement, and they have moved their forces back and will continue to leave the region and not attempt to sack the city. We will return to them and provide them aid, since, like I said, they are downtrodden and hungry, and we'll provide them from our share of our reward.
And
they will never return to the city.
His face kind of gets, he kind of screws up his face in a smooshy lick and says, Not the warlord. You say that this band of warlord minions that we feared are nothing but hungry peasantry? And he looks kind of at the table, and you get this harumph from some of the guys. As, the general is like, "See, my lord, we should have ridden out and ridden the world of their type."
Now, there are seasoned warriors among them, but
warriors
they weren't
poor and hungry too.
And they are a formidable force, but they weren't coming to sack the city due to some devious plan. It was for money for their people. And we graciously will provide them aid from our rewards to save them and the city, and all will benefit, and you will be known as a gracious Lord.
Merciful.
Ooh, I like this. I like where this is going. So do me a favor, is all of a sudden some of his, air quote generals, start making comments of, but, we paid to have the warlord defeated. If these are just a peasant army, perhaps we should be owed change. And one of the guys makes
the
a little
warlord.
harumph.
The warlord is still a formidable warrior. That has not been exaggerated. We merely have convinced him of a better path.
Ooh, I like this. So, one of you two, give me a negotiation roll with a blue dice. Because, of course, you are the conquering heroes.
I got 3 green.
As all of a sudden,
that would be.
You're sensing the greed in this room.
Since we're both talking, could I be the assist on it?
Yeah, you could add a blue as well if you don't have any other combination to contribute.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna steal a destiny point and spend it.
Ooh, look at that.
Also, I'm helping too. I'm keeping my mouth shut.
That's extremely, extremely helpful.
The greatest form of help, not talking.
There's actually a total of 4 blues now, and an upgrade.
Damn.
Yep, 4 blues and an upgrade against 2 purple and a red.
And
As you know, you totally are sensing some of these greedy shits are like, why do we have to pay them at all? They didn't stop the warlord. Didn't even cut off his head, I bet.
Let's see.
You know your friend really wants to say something.
He's twitching.
Okay, yeah, nothing there I can quite use yet. So what's going on here?
You even hear one guy comment about the whole, at least we can take these women off their hands. Maybe they might be worth a few coins.
Can I glare at him intimidatingly?
You can totally glare at that guy, because that guy's got an intimidating glare coming.
I'm assuming there's I was going to do something a little different, but I'm assuming there's food and things sitting out.
Yep,
apples
there are
and
platters
things like
of food. There are servers with food in their hands, ready and waiting to pounce on in and give you guys some nourishment.
Yeah. So I will step over to the young ladies and I look over at the general and I'm like, I would think twice as I hand her bow and point to one of the apples quite some distance off.
Ooh.
For her to take a shot at.
Okay. Do you want to do that before you make your roll?
I can do the roll and then do that. That's fine.
Okay, go for it.
Unless that might add,
I mean,
upgrade
she
or
might
blue.
add something to it.
Yeah, that's my guess. So I'll chance it. I'll do it.
On which
I'll do
side?
It first, since he interrupted. Upgrade to us with showing the prowess and stuff and helping with my story of, yes, these are formidable people that you don't want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let her do her thing first.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
I'll take the chance that I get something good out of it.
I'll totally just put that in there so I don't lose track of where I was. And are you wanting her to shoot the apple at short range or at medium range?
We'll go with a medium range so she can, show a little talent there.
And of course,
I trust.
aim.
I trust her.
She's gonna wait till the audience all inhale out of anticipation and fire the arrow off. And unfortunately, it goes flink and misses just barely, and everyone around the table goes.
Yes, if that was your head, it wouldn't have missed.
And when you say that with the advantage she has, she makes this smirk and kind of eyeballs them. And one slightly more intelligent looking person than the rest goes, perhaps she's faking her skills so we don't put her to work on the walls as an archer to shoot her friends.
And I hold out my hand for the bow.
And she hands you back the bow, kind of gives you this curtsy as she hands you the bow, and she's a little apologetic for missing that shot. How did she miss that shot? I don't know. Probably because she's in a room full of hungry people that are making comments that she don't like.
Yeah, that's okay. So I return to the king, ignoring the generals, and I'm like, so as I was saying, you can see that they have formidable warriors, but as a gracious king, to avoid bloodshed is the greater good. and I will make my other roll.
Okay, I've got your pool back in there. And she totally
All
makes
right.
this sorry gesture.
It's okay. I don't give her any derogatory or, negative looks to it.
Look at you making sure to support the troops.
All right. A charm.
I'll put a friendly tap on the shoulder.
Look at that shit.
Wow.
Look at that shit.
As needless to say, with all the little voices that have been doing what they've been doing in there, you kind of go into a little tirade of explaining how this is going to cost no bloodshed, no loss to your fields. Remember the warlord was threatening to burn your fields outside the city walls. No one is going to go hungry. And these are just an example of the caliber of warriors they have, even if they're not giving away their greatest skill sets.
Right.
And what would you like for those 2 advantage and that big damn triumph?
Hell, cat.
As you look around and your feline rogue friend is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, well, she was just jumping at me on the back of the couch, and looking. I think she just woke up all weird. She's looking around what the hell?
Obviously, you attacked her in her sleep.
Right. Let's see the triumph. Let me see. So advantage.
That could be good for the triumph there. I mean, you can pick which NPC we're talking about. That could be handy.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Affects unexpected targets. So I think that I will go with kind of a cascading of affects unexpected subjects beyond the original target. So some of the generals and or senior militants understand and buy into it, and one of the generals does fully, who isn't a warmonger but is respected, fully understands and comes to our side to support the concept and help to explain to the king how warmongering isn't the better way, that this does put the kingdom in a much safer and much better place.
At the very end, he totally, speaks up and starts echoing your words.
Yep. So we have a reoccurring general here in the kingdom that supports and understands to and predisposed to assist us.
General Papadopoulos.
That'll work.
Greek on the fly. And he immediately pops off with, even at twice that price, it would be a good deal to know that you are a peaceful king. A king who does not use treachery. And the way he says that, you get a taste of that maybe the king has done something once or twice that was distasteful to Papadopoulos.
Yeah, I'm not about to speak that, but he feels he can, then that's good.
And he basically says these heroes should be applauded for what they have accomplished in so small a time. Lest anyone commit any sorrowful behaviors upon this band. And he kind of looks at the king long and hard, and then looks at the king's main general, who's the nice beer-bellied gentleman with the 2 big swords and the shield hanging off his chair that he probably can't march with. As he stares at those 2 real long, and there's unspoken words hanging in the room. as the king says, "Yes, yes, my servants, feed our friends, and then bring them the currency so they may pay off these ne'er-do-wells and have their just rewards. Bring more chairs. Their lady friends need additional seats as well." And you see them kind of like instantly do this little montage of spreading the seats around to make space for you guys. And they totally park you guys there and, start filling up your plates.
Nice. I'll look over at the ladies and encourage them to enjoy their feast.
And as
Well done, my friend. Well done.
they kind of like gingerly start picking at the chicken and the goat that's on their plates and looking at you guys to like totally they're picking up for your social cues of what is and is not okay.
I'm gonna dive right in then.
I will
Yeah.
nod to them encouragingly.
I mean, after all, the doctor did say you need your high protein diet to recuperate.
Right.
And then one of the female merchants, wives that are there, she totally tries to strike up a conversation with you guys and says, but wasn't there more of you when you left the town? I
There
do recall
was.
there was more of you.
Yes. They're currently taking care of some other business outside of the city. We will rejoin them.
Excellent.
But
So after you finish
they're
this,
fine.
you'll be taking your treasure to return your friends. I bet you the bandits kept them as hostages. Am I right?
No, not at all.
I've read
Not
those.
at all. We left
I've
on
read those
great
vases.
terms. What's that?
I've read those vases with their stories about captured hostages and such.
Vase. Sorry, makes me think of that dog food or dog commercial. That the dog's sitting there talking. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry about the vase." It's like, sorry, if you haven't seen it, probably doesn't make much sense. But if you've seen it, yeah, it's bad. So, all right. But no, I'm like, no. Like I said, once we begin talking, and they were quite reasonable folk.
Oh, delightful. You never know when one day's bandit may be next week's hired mercenary.
Yes. No, these are quite skilled warriors. Some of the ladies in the troops, like these two here, so and so, whatever their names were.
Oh, lady warriors, how gauche.
Yes. But they are the epitome of the warriors within their society.
And of
They
course,
are mighty and skilled for women.
Folks start totally
for
hitting
women.
them up for
I'm gonna step on his foot hard.
You were doing good until you added that last little phrase on there.
That was a compliment.
Can I step on his foot like right before he gets that out? Because I kind of know it's coming.
You totally cut that word off the pass and stomp on his foot. Somehow related to the one crit he still has.
I poke the crit.
Pulls out one of his little instruments and it's like,
oh look, you've regained feeling in that place.
But now they look at me even more admiringly because I leapt to their defense.
Yeah. For
That's
women.
one way to call it. So
yes, I will. We will entertain and enjoy, and I will, once I have some fill and some wine, and I will strike up a tune, throw some good vibes across the table again.
And
that's
I'm
what you
just
do, Dan.
making polite conversation and sticking close to the Amazons and discussing home and discussing science and medicine and dropping
I'm sure
knowledge
they're
on
just thrilled with that.
dropping knowledge. Well, that'll keep them from lingering too close to us and saying something that somebody might regret.
Don't worry, Ethereon, you're going to get both of them because, they're going to be like,
I'm
oh,
blinding.
this geek is like, oh my God, so dry and boring.
I'm blinding them with science. No, I'm telling interesting scientific stuff, like Egyptian burial practices.
Yes, I'm sure the Amazons are quite thrilled.
They're like, when I die, you can burn my body because I'll be in the afterlife already. Why do I need my body back? You know how rotten it'll be? That makes no sense.
I would like to look deep in the eyes of the Amazon I've been impressing and say, we've known each other for a couple of days now, and
it's like almost ready to be married.
I've come, and you are a mighty and skilled warrior, and I just feel like I need to ask you something. I've never asked a woman this before, but what is your name?
I feel like I need to poke him in his crit again.
No, I just asked her what her name is.
While I was worried for a moment there.
And then
what's your name?
And she gets all bashful all of a sudden, like you've asked her something deep and meaningful, and she says, my name in the troop is Pythos, because I use the serpent sting with my bow, but my real name. And she looks up at you, and her eyes are getting like twice the size they used to be. She totally does the Puss in Boot Cat's eyes, and she goes, you may call me Pythia.
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 That is a name worthy of a tattoo.
God. Oh my God.
Do me a favor. Give me a charm roll since you're pushing the schmooze. Oh, look, there's no story points. I'm going to have
to well, trust in the gods, right?
Trust in the gods, for they are mad.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
And things were going swimmingly until all of a sudden, she's looking up at you. She's doing that going from your eyes to your lips to your eyes triangle that all the starlets know in Hollywood. And just then, this beautiful serving woman comes sauntering by with a giant, big, like 3-gallon pitcher of wine. And while she's looking up at you and her eyes are so big and so shiny, you don't realize, because you're looking at the serving woman who comes out, whose little toga is cut so short, her thighs are so big and so shiny.
Big kegs.
Well, yeah. The two things I love most.
Her cloudy, heavenly appearance completely distracts you, and she just looks at you, and immediately when you look back down at her, you're just like, hey baby. And she just like wrinkles that spot on the nose that is that magical wrinkle spot of you done fucked up, and she just storms off to go use the privy.
Okay, so it's going to be like this fight sex like relationship. You're constantly going to get in arguments, go have sex, make up, be all good, and piss her off again. I see the relationship. I've known these relationships. I've seen them before. Okay, lucky you.
Eventually,
hey,
one
Taha,
of you will
remind
die.
me to tell her she's cute when she's angry.
Oh.
He likes that little wrinkled nose. You're gonna have a rough life with her.
Because you totally feel that, you done fucked up there.
But she is cute when she's angry, and I like a woman with spirit.
You just have to keep her angry, that's all.
Exactly.
That's not a good plan.
Fortunately, I'm
but
good
it's
at that.
Plan.
You have been good with her on that, yeah. Wonderful.
Well, I will go over then and console myself with the serving girl with the wine. Yeah.
Who will totally have no problem splitting off from her duties and going and disappearing to one of the little side alcoves with you to give you a little bit of divine mischief.
I will apologize to our other companion that he's just not right in the head.
And she just sighs and shakes her head.
And is your friend going to be okay?
And when you say that, she totally chirps up and she's like, now that you mention it, maybe I should go check on her. And she kind of looks at you and looks around. She's trying to get you. Basically, you get the implication she's asking for permission to take off.
I'll offer. Would you like me to go with you?
And she will take you up on that offer in a second. Totally grabs snatches your hand, and goes, kind of quickly sandal clomping on the floor to go in the same direction she went.
Yep.
Wasn't this kind of behavior what got us into this mess in the first place?
It kind of was.
Oh, yes. You got all the godly might and none of the godly brains.
Or
all
the
comes
exact
full
same
circle.
godly mouth that gods have, which explains so much.
Yeah, true.
So as our music man plays through the night, things are winding down. You notice that a small wheelbarrow has been brought out. And by small, I mean small by your very large muscular friend. So that way the gold can be placed in the wheelbarrow. And the vibe is going great. Your role definitely tweaked the vibe in a good way, and no one is questioning that this is a bad idea. You have swayed all of the naysayers.
Sweet.
But
God works in mysterious ways.
Give me a vigilance check. Because, you notice one of your friend takes off, your other friend takes off with his lady friend. And you're just like, really? The working stiff? If I was a drummer, I'd be getting some.
Jim has totally found our weakness. It's vigilance.
Yeah. The pan flute's just not the same as like a sax or drum or,
I mean, isn't there a story that, Pan turned a woman into reeds and made her into a flute?
I think there's something like that. Just didn't have the same sexiness like a saxophone or something.
Get some Kenny G going.
But he got to play her like every night, right?
Yeah.
All right. Ready? Did you get my upgrade?
Yep, I got your upgrade in there.
All right, here we go. Oh, look at that. Not a success, but a triumph. How about that crap?
So, people are talking, people are whispering. You don't really pick up much because, you are playing a musical instrument. It kind of, blows into your ears before it does, their voices.
Yeah,
so nothing
dancing and
really important is overheard or anything, but you do have a big damn triumph. Yeah. So what I was talking about means nothing, but something cool could happen. I mean, I do have something cool I can throw out there. It's just not the cool thing I was thinking about throwing out.
Yeah. Well,
I'll
go for it.
Bubble and flew away.
Yeah. Well, give me something else then.
Okay,
I'll take your alternate.
Is you totally notice 3 of the generals who you've been, secretly keeping an eye on because you're just like, these guys are sus. as the kids say these days.
Yeah, warmongering assholes.
And as you totally play the music, but make sure to have like your ear twerk towards them to listen. You actually hear them talking about that whoever the general is amongst these bandits, they are very tactical and they were fairly genius disseminating false information like that to get a payday without having to work for it for the most part. I mean, the king was inches away of giving away the entire pile of coin just to dissuade the warlord from attacking, thinking it was the warlord. Obviously, whoever's in charge of this group must be very, very good in the art of cunning. And more importantly, the ability of spy making. And you hear them kind of throw back and forth some words, and then he's like, perhaps we could use someone like that to go spy on our allies outside our polis.
Spy on our allies, not our enemies, but our allies. Great.
And you totally hear one of the guys going, you know what they say. The wise man says, one keeps their friends close, but their enemies closer. And the general totally stabs into like a tomato and says, exactly. And he bites into it, and it almost looks like a hint of blood as you get this little prophecy-like moment where he's chewing on the tomato.
I'm totally picturing Two Towers.
Just less manic.
All right then.
More warmongering and less spastic.
Yep. So at a lull and break, because obviously you can't play music constantly, I will take my wine and I will make my way to General Papadopoulos.
General Papadopoulos, who's sitting observing. He seems to be a very observant fellow.
He's a thinker. He's a warrior monk, I predict. So, and does he seem to have fairly good standing amongst, like, I mean, what's his prominence to the others per se that I can?
From what you're getting, him and the head general are the same age group. They're up there with the king. So you're definitely thinking that the three of them probably saw some shit together. Just because the fact that they're all three local, they're about the same age. And when you're in the conversations, listening to other people talk, he's known as being one of the ones that are the last to act. He preaches caution and patience over aggressiveness, which over the years kind of you hear different voices chime in at different points of like, oh, but remember that one year because of his delay the floods got bad and people died, so everybody has like a grievance or something good to say about him.
Okay. So, but
someone in charge of something like this, you would totally expect that you can't win them all,
Right, but they seem to have a general same level of respect or
there's
prominence
definitely that
with the
community
king.
Respect that
Well, I mean, and with the king, there's not like one of them over that they're all kind of as a conglomeration kind of look to for all of them and their input versus say he has a little more of the king's ear or anything.
You notice that both of them have like equal sway with the king because of the looks and gestures that you see happening.
Okay.
But with General Papadopoulos, he has mostly the older crowd.
Okay.
He's the one that goes for the wisdom angle, as opposed to the other general that's like, they're only troops. They'll raise some more next generation.
Exactly. Yeah.
We just need to field the numbers to win.
I make my way to him with my wine, and we kind of chat and kind of draw him away from the crowd where we can have a little bit more of a quiet conversation. And I will advise him of some of the undertones that I have overheard while entertaining from his compatriots, and that he may want to keep an eye on them before they cause mischief and disarray for the kingdom and the king.
In that case, give me a charm or negotiation or leadership, and it's going to be a hard roll. It's not going to be against his discipline, which would be even more difficult, but it's just going to be hard.
Okay. All right. It'll be charm. That's my best because I'm not going to deceive him. I'm telling him the truth. So, all right. Ready?
Yep.
Hey.
So immediately he basically he clicks with you. It's just one of those of he totally picks up what you're putting down, and you guys have a nice conversation. He talks about the king when he was young, how he was very impetuous, and his father tasked me to give him wise counsel and to make sure that he gives caution a chance.
Yep.
However, I would I feel that honor requires me to inform you of something.
Okay.
But I'm sure you realize this, that you and your friends were led through town in a very roundabout way.
That was definitely noted.
I believe my political rivals, and he totally gestures towards the bro group over there that's hooting and hollering. The old man, the old general with his folks are doing the arm wrestling, and you can totally see that they're losing on purpose to him from this distance.
Yep.
One guy is about to win, and another guy kicks him under the table.
Yep.
And says, may have in fact betrayed your group.
Well, that would definitely be a shame.
Totally gestures for you to lean in closer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but from the overlooking patio above, we watched your group go through town, as the king had ordered for you to be delayed and taken in a roundabout way, because your friend's boat left yesterday. And I'm only assuming that the route you were taking concealed that fact from you until this very moment. And he totally does that whole stop and searching your eyes, searching your feelings to see if you know it's true.
Yeah, well, kind of had a feeling that might be the case.
I know for a fact that the general sent some spies to follow you, and they reported back some interesting confrontations that you may have had. And he basically makes a quick mention of that first night that you guys ran into their lookouts.
Yep.
And from the general tone, it sounds like the spies were watching you, and then they basically ran back to report.
Okay. Yes, we had to work a little bit to gain the upper hand in the discussions and negotiations.
And he totally, with respect, pours you a glass of wine, and says that I respect the tact that you show and the wisdom of your approach of knowing your enemy before you attack. However, did you figure out that it was all just a ruse?
Well, we had to work our way in. We set up a potential ambush. I mean, what as much as a small handful can do against a roving band of Amazons and skilled warriors, and was able to have some discussion occur instead of out and out combat, and challenge their champion to a duel.
Excellent. I mean,
we lost, but gained their respect.
And when you say that, he kind of like almost spurts his wine for a second when you say we lost, but you know, as he looks and you see like there's this corner of the room where your very large, muscular divine friend kind of comes out to grab another pitcher of wine and food to go back to his little private corner, and he's like, he lost.
Yeah, their big guy's pretty big. He's got quite the wallop.
By the gods of the air and the water. How and you lost, but you still won.
We did.
And he totally cheers as you with his goblet.
By the gods, they shine their light upon us and our path.
Gods work in mysterious ways.
Pan has his ways of things.
And what of the future? What do you see happening after you pay off these bandits and you have your wagon load of gold?
Well, I believe they will hold to their bargain, and I have found that we first convinced and earned the trust of the two young ladies that we brought with us, and I believe that their leader is an Amazon to be honorable and will take them back to their lands as agreed upon. They will take care of their people.
I must commend you for what you have achieved here today, because obviously this would have turned to a bloody confrontation if it wasn't for you heroes. And
indeed,
we are lucky that we sent for the heroes and you did arrive on time.
Indeed, again, God's hand.
And do me a favor, just because he is wily. Give me a deception check.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
Go for it.
Ouch.
And he kind of gives you like a long look, as obviously you must have been a little deep in your cups when you must have done a little whole laugh about the gods, yeah, for the heroes.
Yeah, well, God brought the right heroes at the right time.
And he totally gives you this like sus double take look of like he didn't get what the inside joke is, but he's a little on guard right now. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but yeah, a little on guard. As he basically, hey, so what is your band of heroes' next step going to be? What is the next plan?
Well, we'll finish up our chores here to take care of their group, and from there, I don't know. But I would hate to see it, all get blown up because of those gentlemen over there. But I don't know if we will stay in the city or if we may move on across the ocean. Depends on the winds and the seas and how they guide us.
Excellent. So, is there any way that in case I need to reach you in the future, is there any way that I can leave word for you somewhere? Is there any port of call that you heroes call?
Yeah, that's kind of changed. I would say yes, but with the loss of our ship and Our friend, I don't know at this time.
Oh, and he makes like a real mournful face, like, "Ooh, dude, sorry I brought it up so soon."
So
kind of finishes up the picture and says, kind of pats you on the leg, reassuringly friendly style, and he says, "My my old humors don't take the wine like they used to in my youth. I think I should probably turn in for the night before some serving wench comes and steals me away from my wife's bed."
I just give him a little grin and wink, like, "Oh, like that's so bad." So, but I am sure that Pan will bring us to cross paths again.
Ah,
And
Pan.
I thank you for your assistance in this evening.
And of course, when you mention Pan, you totally get a flashback of the, yeah, that's why I'm not a drummer. And he basically sends you on your way, to back to the party or to use one of the guest quarters, because of course the servants will have no problem offering you guest quarters to go crash if you need to crash.
Yeah. I first need to check on my companions and make sure that they're not up to mischief or trouble.
Give me a perception or vigilance check. Look at how I try to make something interesting happen.
Yeah, I got one. They're both the same, so I will do a perception. I'm actively looking, particularly for the Amazons first. Yeah, particularly for them, the Amazon crowd first. Make sure that there's no shenanigans happening. But you did say that the general and his crowd were together and in sight, so I'm not as worried.
Yep.
All right, ready?
It's kind of nice that they are keeping to themselves.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Golly.
As
That's all right.
you totally go looking for them, and of course, being the big damn hero you are, you're running into everyone but who you're wanting to run into, because of course,
Yeah.
many guests and servants and nobles are totally boys and girls throwing themselves in your general direction if you would like some company tonight.
Well,
Come to
of
our
course.
house tonight. Don't sleep in a guest quarters. Come down across town and you can reside with us tonight.
Of course. I mean, how could you not with somebody as charming as me and such prowess and skill?
I mean, come on, think of the dinner parties. You can say I brought so and so home from the dinner party, and we did it right there on the duvet.
All right. Well, I don't know that I want to go far, and not necessarily into the uppity up class, but somebody middle classish I might find my wiles with.
Okay, so you basically eventually yeah, I'll go. Eventually you got this offer you couldn't say no to. Some dad was totally saying, "Do you want to spend the night with my daughter? She's of consenting legal age, and she's been looking at you all night." This is how we make it not creepy.
Right,
And
right.
slowly later that day, the sun creeps up, and you guys all start to, in your various places, come to your senses. Our Egyptian fellow folded up his robes and totally gave the ladies the cushioned seat, and he, slept on the floor because he's a nice guy like that, right?
That's right.
And
Unless invited.
they went to sleep clutching each other like close friends.
Like a comfy bed they've never been in before.
And you all, you take a few hours to get some sustenance back in you, and you kind of all make your way back to the king's plaza, who, of course, the king is still in bed and ordered that he is not to be disturbed. And the generals went back to their little training facility because, of course, they bunk with their men because that's what they do. And
Right.
the head steward immediately sees each of you guys and kind of invites you back to the main table area where the king's hound is barking at something, probably trying to get its morning breakfast, which someone passed out with the pitcher of wine has a turkey leg in the pitcher. As the steward asks, is there anything he can do to assist? As he points over to the wheelbarrow that's got 5 large silver serving trays and mound of coins.
Just some
A
pack
coffer, maybe?
animals to help us carry it. They will be returned.
Yeah, bags or a cart or like a coffer to put it all in.
As he thinks thoughtfully for a second and says, we can bring you 3 mules. Yes, I think we have 3 pack mules still in the barn that we could use for a short period of time for you heroes. And he smiles.
That will work.
Does the clap clap. And one of the younger servants comes running up and he gives him orders, and the boy goes running off and he says, unfortunately, the king's chariot would be too precious of a thing to loan out. But if you could use a single small wagon.
Okay.
Perfect.
How about like a coffer or some bags or sacks or something to put the
he goes clap clap
gold into?
And a lady comes up and he basically says, bring us a sack. And she basically comes back with some burlap sacky, type bags. Looks like they were probably holding kind of grain or something.
Yep.
Perfect for clandestinely putting coins in.
Yes, indeed.
And Jim, I just wanted to remind you that if you recall, there was 400 other coins waiting for me from healing the king.
Wow.
Yep. That was your private stash. I was assuming you privately stashed that stash.
That is private. That is privately stashed. I just wanted to remind you so you know where all the money comes from.
That's wrong. Besides, the way you're going to be spending it on medical supplies.
With this bunch, well, with one of them, really, yeah.
When you go to the nearest apothecary, who goes, you boys are those big heroes that got piles of coin, aren't you? Yes, very rare herbs you're seeking. Very expensive.
Yeah,
very rare.
Very, very rare. Special I have for you.
Yeah.
This dandelion root is 5 coins a sample.
Lies.
As you look at the road and there's a whole bunch growing in between the pavers. So they give you a wagon that's good enough for 2 people to sit in the front. It's literally just one of those old-fashioned wheelbarrow style wagons where it's got 2 poles that stick off that get tied to the mule, and there's no shocks, no nothing, so you're feeling every clunk of the cobblestone. You're actually almost happy if you get out of town to the actual dirt trails, because the wagon wheel marks are worn in the dirt and they're a lot smoother.
Yeah. So, get the big guy, help bag all the gold up.
I call shotgun.
You find him and wake him up, and you realize that not only did he go back with the serving wench, but some lady climbed in the pile with them, so that's all 3 of them tangled together.
Yeah, I don't know nothing.
It was a good
I'm
night.
Not getting in the middle of that conversation in the morning.
I think once we get outside of the palace grounds, we should return the bows to our friends.
Oh, no, definitely.
And they are nervous as kittens looking around to see the whole, is someone gonna stop us? Are we able to go? They're totally in the back of the wagon trying to look. Oh, they got the extra burlap sack each of them. They got to kind of like over their shoulders covering their armor up. And they're like, are you sure they're just going to let us walk out the gates?
Should be no problem.
And so they're like, okay.
And I will I will grab a page and send them off to find General Papadopoulos and ask that he could, if he could come to and attend us on our way to the gate.
As he goes running off, that he will go get General Papadopoulos and see if the good general is up yet to do so.
And if nothing else, if he has some well-trusted young man, or I'll scrib a note to him, basically if he's not able to attend, if he had some trusted individuals that would be so kind as to accompany us to the gate.
Okay. Now, one quick question. As you guys are loading up the coin, are you attempting to disguise it in any way? I mean, you're using sacks, but are you going to take some like extra measures, like pack some fluff in there so it's not just big sacks of jingly coins?
Sure, and we'll probably throw some other fluff up over it, tablecloth or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Somebody
I will help with this.
A stealth or deception?
What about skullduggery?
No, this is big sacks of coin, not a pocket full of purse.
Okay.
It's a little bigger than skullduggery.
Yeah, my stealth is 2 green.
Same.
Or what's the other option?
Stealth or deception?
Deception.
I got 3 green.
Yeah, deception. I have 2 yellow, 1 green, and -1 black.
Oh, damn.
Oh, well, I think we know the answer.
Yeah, I also have a minus. I have 3 green and minus a black. So if I help you with it, we can get a blue and another minus black.
That's fine. I'll do the roll. All right.
Okay, and I got a blue in there because you provided great stuff to do it with.
Yep. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Did it go?
At the very end,
you
guys totally have the wagon packed, and as you guys are starting to leave town, you reach back and you pat one of the sacks, and literally like a potato rolls out, and not a single tinkle happens, and you're just like, oh yeah.
Plus the young ladies are sitting on it, so
Mm-hmm.
Just a pile of stuff in the back for the ladies to sit on, so they have some cushion.
Some cushion with a mule's pushing.
Because they're only girls.
Because they're dainty like that, being Amazons. And any response back from the kid or the general or some other attendees?
Almost out of town, you basically get a small group of four men on a horse come riding up, and at first the girls like start to tense up, like I told you we're gonna be in trouble, and immediately the horses come around the corner and you realize it's General Papadopoulos with a couple men, a couple more stout younger men. One of them has a striking resemblance to the general. You're thinking probably his kid, could be the spitting image of his eye 20 years ago.
Nice. I will hail and greet them.
General totally puts the hand up in military fashion to halt his troops, and he comes trotting up with the younger gentleman that looks like him. He says, "My friends, is it that time already?" And he kind of looks around at the wagon that your 2 lady friends are back there and doesn't notice any coin. He's just like, I take it you have a plan to head out earlier than later.
Yes. We figured urgency is always good, or a timely completion to one's chores is always better It allows for a much fuller evening.
Yes, the discretion in all of its traits. I think you chose wisely.
Yes, yes. And quite the strapping young lad you have with you.
Oh, and he totally takes that you say that and you feel it. You seem like puff up with pride as he reaches over and grabs one of the little buckles on the shoulder for the breastplate and shakes the boy quite heartily. So he has to like grab his saddle to steady himself. And he's like, "Father," he says, "Ah, yes, this strapping piece of horse meat is my youngest. He's learning the family trade and learning not to die like his oldest brother." And he kind of like smacks him on the shoulder and he says, "He's not dead, father. He just went to become a sailor." And he's like, "Whatever."
Well, he's a spitting image of you.
And he beams.
I'm sure he will make you proud.
He says, "Why, thank you. You have not only a musical gift, my friend, but you have a sharp eye." And he totally does that whole wiggles his eyelid gesture that you're very, very observant.
Indeed.
So
let us be about our business.
What can we assist you with?
If you would not mind accompanying us part of the way, just to avoid any possible other misunderstandings.
And he totally gives you the aha. It doesn't take but a second for the aha to come out. And he's just like, "I fully understand." And he looks back at his escort and he hollers to them and says, "Men, no one touches this cart. Take positions to the front and I will ride along. Son, position to the rear. And don't be making moony eyes at their ladies." As he totally does that whole Amazonian, huh? This is my first Amazonian.
No. And if we're outside the city, the ladies are rearmed.
No, you're still in the city.
Oh, okay.
So their hands are inching towards the bows, but they have yet to arm themselves officially.
Yep. Yep. We'll basically have them tucked in the cart up towards the front corner, but where they can be seen sitting there and not in their hands, but can be easily reached.
So you guys, you head out to the main gate. General Papadopoulos yells up to the fence, "It is I, General Papadopoulos. Open the gates!" And he gestures for the gates to open, and the guard guy totally like hollers down, and some guy comes groggily out of his watch post down below the gates and looks and rubs his eyes and sees General Papadopoulos just wave at him, and he yells up, and the two guys up on the wall do something to some kind of like lock that's up there. And then the guard goes over and he starts to like strain against the board that's blocking the gate and finally gets the leverage for it to pip over and kind of like drags it to the side and opens the gate. And he says, "General, it's good to see you. We haven't seen you on the west gate for a while." "Well, my son is not needed to be trained anymore. He's a grown man. I trust him to patrol the west gate from any danger." And the guy kind of gives him a weird, funky look. You're not quite sure what it is. Probably that, yeah, you put your son on the safest gate, not the east gate that's closest to the bad guys. That's where you put your grizzled warhounds because, they would probably sleep through the invasion. And he basically opens the gates, gestures for you guys to head, and he will ride alongside with you and just lets you know that he'll go for, a stretch and then head back to town before too far out. But he wanted to make sure to see you out of town safely with your potatoes.
Yes. Yes, that was my biggest potential fear, was getting to the gate and out the gate.
And he just gives you this wise, fatherly look, kind of peers through you, makes you feel like you missed having a dad growing up. And
Right?
he totally puts the fatherly hand on your shoulder, getting his horse close up to your cart, and just says, You are wiser than your years. Know this. And I
Why,
know
thank you.
somewhere your father must be proud of the man that you have become. All of you have proud parents because you are great men, and I would be glad to call you my soldiers at any time.
Indeed. Why, thank you. You're a very gracious and wise and caring general. I feel that the city is in good hands with your guidance.
And he totally whistles, and with the whistle, his two guys that are in front of you guys totally takes the hint, and they start riding back
What
to
are you
town
eating
pretty
on, Evan?
fast. He's like chewing
Sorry,
gum.
no, I'm just putting some groceries away. That's all. They're rustling.
Okay. I'm like, holy cow.
He found the
No, they're going rustle.
Like going to town on that bag. No.
As the guys get out of earshot, he leans in close to the three of you and says, "And I'm sure your friend here has told you about your missing companion." And he kind of like holds that for a second to see if there's any gestures between you guys or looks of curiosity. Especially since he hasn't actually told you anything.
I haven't had a chance to, no, so.
And
no, that's unfortunately have not had time to tell them of the news.
he just looks a little sad in the face there and says, "I will endeavor to see if I can hear of any more information to provide to you."
Well, again, you've been most gracious.
And he totally just slaps you on the shoulder and gives you this boyish look of nonsense. This is the best adventure I've been on in a long time. And he totally reins up on his horse and does the whole dancing horse move and turns the horse around quickly, comes running up, and as he gets by his son, who's still kind of lazily following behind you, totally checking out the legs on the Amazons, his dad swings over and just slaps the shit out of the horse's ass that his son is on.
Okay.
And his son's horse just whinnies and starts taking off ahead of you guys. And he slowly gets control of the horse and turns around to follow, as his father is, of course, riding recklessly back on the horse.
Nice. I just kind of have a moment of pity for the general. This is the biggest excitement that he's had in a while.
It's been exciting without putting anyone's life in danger.
I wish blessings of Dionysus on him, that he gets to have some fun and excitement in the near future.
So of course
and then we will beeline ourselves towards the encampment.
Yep, as the camera pans up to the late morning sun, and then it pans back down onto you guys as the sun has obviously shifted positions because the shadows are way longer and distant as you guys are getting closer to the location. Someone give me a perception check.
Oh, not a vigilance this time.
Oh, I mean, you can do a vigilance if you want, but perceptions. This is going to be more of a perception.
No, that's good.
I've got yellow and 2 green. How's everybody else?
Just a green or 3 green.
All right.
I was just bracing for for vigilance. So.
Yeah, of course.
This is more of a see something and not be ambushed by something yet.
Yeah. Well, see, hear, smell versus the gut versus the gut. Hey, not bad considering what you were up against.
Go ahead and take 2 strain because it's a long, hot day and you've been paying attention too much. Little ice strain there. As you guys are coming up on where the camp used to be, your horses come clomping around the hill, and you see like the scattered fire pits, the dumped out supplies that may have been left by folks that don't travel completely clandestine, so they just like left some loose stuff hanging out and about.
Yep.
Little rubbish piles, out there. And as you guys come up to that, you totally see over the like ridge line over to the right of you guys, two little heads peeking over the ridge line. Obviously, they're in a position where they could spy on the encampment, and you see their outlines of them looking this direction. With your two threat, you obviously go, "There's some people over there."
Hold on a sec. You already gave me strain, so you used those up already.
Oh yeah.
I thought you'd prefer the strain to that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Double dip, trying to double dip. How dare you?
No, I'm just giving them options. That's all.
Is it clear, like, what team they belong to?
With your one success, no. They're at a bit of a distance. I mean, you could easily go over there with the wagon and see. Your wagon could outpace them on foot, unless they have horses on the other side of the ridge.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will very subtly let the others know that we're being watched.
As you give them the
Hooty hoo.
Don't
hooty hoo.
look, but over my left shoulder, we have people watching us on the ridge. Or
I look.
also known as the hills have eyes.
Oh God. Great. The story's gone to a whole different level now. The hills have eyes.
It now became that kind of story.
Well, you said that if we continue on as we were, unless they have horses, they wouldn't be able to catch up to us anyway.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you could easily outpace and just give it a little yuck yuck, and the mules would easily pull you guys away from them.
Okay.
But you definitely get the idea that somebody was spying on the what's left of the encampment.
Are they good guys or bad guys?
We don't know.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna guess that it's probably from the city. People from the city.
Mean, it's a safe bet. It really is.
Yeah.
You don't think the people you said move your camp out would really have bothered to send spies to spy on their camp that they were abandoning?
Right.
Right. The only reason for that would be to watch for our return, but they know we're coming back, so they most likely wouldn't do that. I think it's the Greek town, the city.
Yep.
Yep. It is a fairly safe bet.
And we'll definitely keep and have the young ladies keep a close eye behind for any potential movement or following.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Be on watch.
That's one of the 3 skills that they actually have.
And we'll deviate our path slightly off.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Great.
As the girls are watching you guys and they're being totally sus. They've got their hands up over their eyes, both looking in that direction. And one of them's like, I see who it is. We should probably capture him.
Who is it?
And they're ready to grab their bows and jump off unless somebody wants to try something.
Yeah, no. Let them be. Well,
you gonna let them go
keep
run
an
off
eye.
Spies?
No, because that would just be provocation for them to go back, or somebody to go back and tell their general that, see, they attacked us. So that's not going to end well.
You gonna use your words? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep. I is.
You is. And since it's a despair, I'm gonna totally do that. Just because I have to compete against your abilities.
Oh, whatever.
You already know their discipline's not that good. They already turned, tides and joined you guys once.
Ready?
Yep.
All right.
What just happened?
Yeah.
As they both look back at you, and they're like, "No, we have to make sure that we're not pursued." And they both like jump off the back of the wagon and say, "Continue on. We'll follow the tracks once we've taken down the spies." And they seem like gun ho to go take the spies out. As Pythia
Yes.
totally looks back and says, "After all, look what happened last time we didn't kill the spies on the first sight." Angry, winky face, eggplant emoji, tears spraying.
Shit.
And they totally said,
okay.
"Just go on without us."
Wait, no, before you go.
Ooh, what's
There's
gonna
something
happen?
I want to say.
What's gonna happen?
So I get on one knee.
Baby, stop.
And I look up at Pythia and I say, I wrote you a poem. The servant girl meant nothing. I only want to be with ya. In bed or in sandpit or hot spring. We would make great magic, Pythia.
God.
Since you brought up the
Now they're gonna attack you.
Since you brought up the servant girl, I gotta give him a free upgrade on that one. Go ahead and give me your charm or negotiation or maybe leadership.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, he said ooh.
Well, actually, they're all about the same.
Yeah.
No chance for coercion?
That
I
doesn't
mean,
sound
if
like
you want to
coercion.
manipulate them, I mean, because remember, coercion is you basically browbeating someone into doing what you want.
No, I know. No, I don't want to do it that way.
God. It usually leave details out in writing a poem. Certain
well, I mean,
things.
But it may
it's so par. It's so par for the course, though.
No.
It's so
it is, and it
nose.
may keep them from going after them just out of sheer.
No, I agree. Yeah, you're getting an advantage from it. So Oh my God.
Oh, I was hoping you'd flip something. I really was.
Oh, yeah.
As Pythia totally pulls an arrow out real quick and shoots it like right between your legs. And she says, "Hold that thought. We'll talk about that when we get back together."
We're getting back together?
And she just makes this audible groan that echoes across the old campsite. As you guys continue on with your momentum, as they jump off and hustle that direction, we will only find out what's going to happen to them later. As the camera screen swipes, you guys get back to the camp with all of your coin hidden in the bags. The hungry people are more interested in the fact that you have potatoes. You brought potatoes. We all eat tonight. Yay!
Sure. Yeah, double heroes.
As you guys start handing out some, stray potatoes. What do you, are you heading to the general's tent?
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, I got to say hi to her. I mean,
Has it been 3 days?
I'm back. It seems like it's been an eternity without you.
It's been forever.
You can use my poem.
That would just lead to more questions.
That one's totally trademarked. Don't you steal my poem. As she's sitting there basically polishing her sword, as the kids say. And she looks at you guys in your wagon and the 2 spare mules you've got. And you immediately notice her do a head count. 1 knucklehead, 2 knucklehead, 3 knucklehead. Where's my girls?
against our guidance, jumped out of the cart because there was a couple people looking over the old campsite, and we told them not to pursue, but they would not listen.
And she immediately gives out a classic Xena little war cry, and two younger gals, they look like they're probably 16, 17. They've got the training armor on. It looks like they're probably the next two Femazonians for her. And she basically says, you need to head back to the camp, take that mule, and she points to your one mule that's not tired, and find the ladies, and make sure they come back. Be careful out there. And she totally reaches down onto the table where she has a spare weapon she just cleaned, and she gives this girl this Zathos, and she says, don't do anything stupid.
Yes, we can only hope that this does not start to unravel what we have accomplished here.
And she totally plops into her chair, and she says, so what exactly have we accomplished?
Well,
that's her polite
things
way
have
of saying,
gone.
show me the money.
Yeah, things have gone well. And I point over to the cart.
She takes a big swig out of a pitcher of wine and walks up and hands the pitcher to you as you guys walk back to the cart. And she totally looks at the cart, sees the sacks, she whips out a little dagger, and does that classic stab and cut the sack in half to see what's in there. And with the glint of coin, when she cuts it open and cuts a couple of potatoes in half, she gives you a good look of nod of appreciation, and kind of gives you the backhanded punch, like a bro to a bro, and takes the pitcher back for a quick drink, and then passes the pitcher to your two friends. She noticed you didn't share.
No.
And she just says, so how much coin is there?
Our body weights?
It was 500 each. So if there's three of us, it'd be. Yeah, that was what the total number was. Yeah.
Well, technically.
So
there's
it's half.
5 of us or 4 of us.
And with that big damn triumph, the king did pay for everybody, since the rest of your patriots were
5
back
of us
at the camp.
Okay, so that would be their half of that is 1250.
Look at the smart little Egyptian immediately counting. He whips out the abacus, and he's like, 12.
Oh, are you kidding? I don't need an abacus for that. Mental math, my friends.
Mental mind palace. Totally put it out there. As she hollers for the big guy to go over, and he basically pulls a wagon over towards you guys. It's one of those little covered type of wagons, like you see a shepherd using. And he kind of like lifts the wagon up, and a little section opens up, and you can see she's got a couple small chests over there, and she's just like, feel free to separate it so we can get our coin.
Sure.
And they start a little conveyor line of taking a couple handfuls of coin at a time and putting in their hidey spot in the wagon. And when it's done, she basically comes up to you and gives you a big burly bear hug. And as she does, she totally gives you a kiss on the chin and says, are you sure he didn't short you a few coins?
And I give her a little grab on the lower cheek there, and it's like, no, I'm sure we are good. If there's anything short, you can take some of it out of my share.
There's nothing short. My math is impeccable.
Your friend is right. There's nothing short. She totally gives you winky face. Roll a resilience check to see if you blush in front of your boys.
Oh, jeez. I mean,
so,
come on. I'm related to Pan, like I'm embarrassed by running in front of people. Come on.
What? That was last Sunday. It's Seder Sunday. Everybody, if you walk down the city streets, you're gonna get laid. Doesn't matter who you are. Granny needs it too.
Ay.
And usually they pay.
Wow.
We'll rut for baked goods. Or sun-dried tomato sauce, because that's the shit. So you guys have your coin. They seem to be basically packing up shop now that they have the coin, and they're trying to decide where they're going to go next. And they totally ask you guys where you're going next.
Well, I wanted to interject for a moment. Ask if they have any like veterinary supplies, because I'd like to get these mounts freshened up, because I kind of want to go check up on our two friends.
Oh, about that.
And she's like, veterinary supplies? I think Stinky Pete may have some in his wagon. And she points to the old stinky guy that's got the.
So it's all the same stuff we use.
He basically he's surrounded by a bunch of stinky, smelly sheep, and he has names for each of them. And you can see he's like braided some of their hair and put flowers in it. And for some reason, he calls all the girl sheep by flower names.
That's hilarious. I do feel like they're kind of part of our group now. I feel like we should make sure they're okay.
Oh, we totally should launch a rescue mission.
So that's why basically I want to try to get the mounts fresh enough to continue to travel.
I thought we were supposed to return those.
You promised.
Well, we're going to be going back. We are, but we're going to be going back in that direction.
I mean, you are currently missing one, but yeah, you're heading that direction to go get that one back, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we go rendezvous, we'll have them all back and be halfway there.
Unless you hit the countryside and say screw it.
Could you? I want to make sure our friends are okay. I mean, we could still do that, but let's check up on them first.
Definitely, because we're getting back together. So.
So.
Don't hold your breath. No, actually, do hold your breath.
At some point while they're doing that, I will talk confidentially to the leader there, and I will advise her that if for any reason they were to want to reach out to the city, they could for aid or potential trade or legitimate activity. I advise her to seek whoever she might send to seek out General Papadopoulos.
See, you just like saying Papadopoulos, see?
I do. So that he is a very wise and reasonable general. And
his son's name Webster.
that he would entertain the discussion and be reasonable to talk with.
Okay, so she definitely takes note of that, of General Papadopoulos.
But the General so-and-so, I would definitely avoid.
I like how you're giving her the skinny on the other one.
Yep. So if you wish to pursue relationships with the city, he would be your best avenue of approach.
And she definitely takes that under advisement. Fortunately, she does not recognize the name whatsoever with that history roll.
That's all right.
But that's
Long
okay.
She takes note.
which she definitely does. As she basically, gets over to you and you guys have this like beautiful kiss moment as the sun is setting behind you, as she thanks you in a deep hushed whisper for everything that you've done for her band of survivors, and that she promises that if she ever sees you again, she won't try to kill you, most likely. And
Wow.
that she can't promise about your friend over there, but
Yes, we struggle with that ourselves.
you have been cursed with terrible purpose. As the Tuscan sun sets in the distance, and you hear the pipe music of nature. As are you heading back to town? Are you heading back to the camp where your friends may have been? There's that abandoned house that your cat friend may have stayed poised out there.
Well, I'm getting the horses, the mounts fresh, and I'm using 2 destiny points to use all the facts.
Ooh, what is that gonna do?
Well, the way I want to use it is if we're going to be going to to try to find our friends who kind of ditched us, but hey, that's okay. I know where we were when it happened. I know the approximate speed that they can go on foot. And I know where the scouts were. I'd like to basically triangulate the exact spot where we can find them.
Ooh, and that doesn't require a roll or nothing, does it?
It does not. I want to know the exact spot to get where they are and how to get to that spot as quickly as possible.
Well, it did require a roll. The flipping.
Yeah, the flipping.
Sure,
the flipping. Kind of a 50-50 flip. It's like flip from one side to the other.
As you figured out where your feline companion will be, but unfortunately, your friend Dracus still seems to be missing. As we totally see this, like.
No, he's talking the young ladies.
I'm talking about the Amazons.
Okay. I thought you meant you're missing 2 compatriots. As you guys basically, we see this like little montage where you get the nice throat singing montage of you guys riding back, a la like Van Helsing montage. As you find the 2 gals and they're walking back with two ponytails in their hand with skulls attached.
Oh, good to see you're okay.
I've never seen such a beautiful sight.
As they definitely come back and look like they found the 2 spies they were looking for. As there's this young maiden with your other donkey sitting there, and they're joking with the girl and going nom 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 like the heads are puppets to tease the child. Got to desensitize the child to death early on. I mean, after all, you've probably seen some shit.
I thought they wanted to walk away from all that. Seems like they changed their minds.
Yeah, nature, conditioning.
I don't know what could have upset them.
I mean, they probably just wanted to talk to the spies, but for some reason the spies didn't want to talk to them.
Abstain would have definitely been better, but all right. Yeah, it's a treacherous desert. Anything could have happened to them out there.
It's true. The spies could have just disappeared. I mean, it's not like anyone will take credit for knowing that they were out there, right?
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, say your goodbyes, big man.
As you guys exchange sweet moments when they have to head back to their camp.
They could come with us.
Yeah, that was originally we had offered that, and they had agreed to come with as long as they didn't have to, fight anybody. but it's up to them, of course.
Of course, if you love
Things
something,
change.
Is
hold
somebody
on to it
gonna
with all
try
your might.
to get them to go with
Wile
you?
them.
That's totally a question. I mean, you could go with leadership or charm or deception. I mean, I really wouldn't recommend deception, but
Yeah, probably don't want deception, but so far the straight up truth has been much better for you.
cough, cough, nudge, nudge.
I mean, I want. Do you want to convince them to stay?
Well, I will, remind them of the offer that we made them, that if they do want to accompany us, they're welcome to. I'm not trying to force them into it. I'm just asking if that's, if they want to go back with them, they want to come with us, go their own way. What do they want to do?
Yeah, I don't get anything out of it. I already took care of business with the big boss. I'm all good.
I like how he's like, I already took good care of business. I'm good for at least 48 hours.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm
Satyrs
just
are
asking them
Vulcans.
what they want to do.
Every 7 years, a satyr can go 1 day without sex.
I wish I had that kind of discipline.
Yeah, no, this is all your relationship thing. I mean,
Okay, I will try to convince them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm putting it out there that they're welcome to come with us if they still want to.
Okay, so who's gonna make the roll?
I'll throw a prayer to Pan for him, to help with his wiles.
Pan, he needs help. Help him by the short and curlies.
If you want to be the convincer of them, I can add a blue and subtract a black if you like, but otherwise.
Your doctor looks at you and says, "Be my wingman, bro."
I mean,
all you need is one success, and they're permanently NPCs with the party now.
I mean, I want to try. Can I use leadership instead of charm, instead of trying to woo her, convince her that we are great comrades in battle and negotiation?
I will totally let you use leadership because that way you could be their general.
Oh God.
And I will chime in whenever he starts to go astray and get him back on track. Basically, with using just letting them know that they have a choice and that they're welcome to join us, and and then he can give his pitch.
Whoa!
And so I'll be kind of assisting.
Consent is important.
If you're going to be their general, though, I mean, you need to talk to HR if you're going to be trying to make moves on her.
That would be me.
That puts you, it's most places it's in a pro. Oh, wait, no, it's Greece. Never mind. They don't care.
Exactly. Okay, and you're gonna give us some mood music?
No, I just tossed a prayer to Pan.
Oh, okay.
Under my breath.
All right. So if you're going to make the leadership roll with my assistance, you can add a blue and subtract a black, just in case.
Hey, that's actually helpful because you're just like, no, seriously, guys, he's not going to hit on you if he's your boss.
Exactly. That's exactly. That's the whole reason I'm involved in this conversation.
Yeah. I wouldn't make that promise because you can't keep that one.
I'm not going to hit on you for at least a day and a half.
I think I can handle him for one conversation.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yep.
I'm anxious.
Yes!
Oh!
Hey, it was the blue that did it.
It was the blue that did it.
I knew you approved of my relationships.
I really don't. I really don't.
And eventually they're looking at the war camp that's packing up, and they look at their old friends, and they look at the young girl who's now fit to be her own, faux Amazon, and as they just let her know that we still love you, we still want nothing but the best for you, but we want to try striking out in the world with these great heroes. And they kind of gesture towards you as you're giving them the I'm going to be the world's greatest general speech. Look, in the age of the trebuchet, I brought guns.
And I will add to that, like, I will try to my best to keep him away from you. While you travel.
Promises.
I said I would try.
She's gonna go for him. She's just playing hard to get.
Exactly.
I think she's playing impossible to get. But I'll tell the young Amazon to say hello to Amazon Prime for us. Or rather say goodbye to Amazon Prime for us.
It's just like in Moonlighting.
To which point you just hear the Amazons roll out.
We made friends.
And you guys are heading back to the city?
Yeah,
we got to take the cart back and figure out where we're going to go next.
Do you have the ladies do anything with the head that they've got?
Oh yeah, they got to drop those.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the skull, so they're not identifiable, right?
Well, no, it's a head. They recently cut it off a corpse.
Okay.
Just you leave those behind. The last poor Yorick, I knew him a little bit. It's been done, so.
Those will start smelling and attracting flies.
Yeah, that's not going to be pleasant. So
Okay, so you guys head back to town, still having half the reward in your wagon.
Yeah.
You do anything with that reward, or?
And by the way, I found out from General Papadopoulos that our boat left port. By the way, so.
Oh. Hard conversation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. Apparently, yes. So yeah, where we go next, I don't know, but we're now shipless.
Well, then we're gonna have to buy some mounts, and I'll take Let's Ride.
Just so you don't die on a horse. Take Let's Ride.
Right.
Exactly, or rather, off the horse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think let's go back. Let's find a place to stay and decide our next course of action. Like find where the wind blows us next.
Yeah. What's the gold breakout between 4? What was the total?
It was 1250.
312 each, I think.
How much?
312.
312. Yeah. Okay.
Plus, I had my additional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm rich.
He's like, I may now return home as a rich doctor.
Nah, I don't want an arranged marriage.
So 312.
Okay, right. I might need to do a little shopping before the next one. I think if we're gonna go overland, we need to buy mounts, or if we want, we might be able to afford a small boat. I do have operating, so I can sail. So that's an option.
And just put the big guy on the sails, on the oars.
Well, we got the Amazons now.
Did the rest of our crew go? Are the rest of our crew gone too?
The ship.
The ship with the 3 sailors.
Yeah.
So the sailors are gone too. Okay. So
ship.
so it's just the okay. So we got the Amazons with us. There are only NPCs. So I don't know. We could talk about either getting mounts or a boat or something. I don't know how much things cost.
Can we find out the second Amazon's name if they're going to stick around?
I thought we already knew them, but I just forgot.
Oh.
So it's Pythia.
Yeah, Pythia and... If we did know them, I didn't pay attention.
I didn't write them down.
Both in and out of character.
Yeah, I've not been taking good notes.
So it's Pythia and Thesara.
Aren't those both cities?
Maybe. I mean, these girls were slaves once upon a time.
Yeah, and now I am a slave to love.
Oh my god.
Yeah, tell that to the wine. Tell that to the cupbearer.
I can just say the worst crap. And
you can be the worst guy, and you don't have to come up with any good plans.
Exactly.
It's like a buddy comedy.
In fact, the worse the plan, the better it seems to come up on the dice.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Problem
and
is,
we managed to create characters that are like polar opposite.
but now you got these two, particularly one plus Mao, who's like gonna keep beating the shit out of you for stupid comments. So
yeah. Well,
keep
maybe I
poking
read
him in
my
the crit.
poem to the wrong one. That was my
on
problem.
the plus side, they will never pay for dinner ever again because they saw the coins you guys got, so they figure lunch is on you guys from now on.
Right? Well,
that's fine. We can. We can.
Also, when we get the mounts, we need to get them side saddles.
God, no.
Just so you can look at those legs.
I was gonna say what for
or
you?
Mean like sidecars.
And you know what? I will actually give them both 50 gold.
Oh.
As payment as part of the crew.
Yeah, and I mean, we can provide them with mounts to come with us and stuff, so they can travel and
that's just
whatever
free spending cash for them that I'm giving them.
No, so. Yeah, that's totally cool. But
He's
we'll
like, dude,
take
don't
care
take
of the rest of the
taxes out. That's a tip. That's not wages.
Yeah, we'll but we'll cover expenses.
So I'm gonna have to totally make their 2 NPC slots so you guys can do things for them.
Cool. I was also going to give them 50 gold each, but I was going to do it in the form of jewelry after we got into town.
Yeah, well, I figured I would give them something they can actually use and work with, not baubles. So
I mean, if they can sell it.
Actually, converting all the coin into things like precious stones would actually make sense, because then we could carry them with us more easily. We wouldn't need to haul it around on a cart.
Yeah, I mean, technically, like chain link necklaces was like one of the first forms of currency, because you know what every link costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like precious stones and stuff, so that we could actually carry it like on our person, not have to have a cart. Yeah, I think that's actually not a bad idea.
I'm the smart one. You said it.
And
that
I said it was a smart idea.
So.
And
you didn't know why.
Yeah, exactly. Let me spell it out for you. But yeah, so do you guys want to just like do that rendezvous and get some and figure out where the wind takes us next?
We'll just go in the city, see what blows in the winds and what stories or rumors we might hear.
Interesting that you're going back to the city you made a clean getaway in.
Yeah.
Well, we got to return the mules.
Yeah, we promise.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, we need to do that. Yeah.
I don't want to get the steward or whatever he is, the perfunctory, the plebe, or whoever in trouble. So, he gave us stuff without really conferring with the king, so I don't want him getting, taken out back and lynched or something.
You also might want to let your friend know that we're in town and where we're staying.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
I'm
20
sure he'll
adventures later, the steward shows up as a badass bounty hunter now. I lost my job because of you and had to live on the streets.
Yeah, listen, we're gonna return the donkeys and
my 2 donkeys.
Where's my 3 donkeys?
So
Inflation.
So, yeah,
you now owe me 4 donkeys.
That'll do.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Yep.
And you guys get 25 experience.
What?
Yay. Love it.
Holy
Because
shit.
of amazing fucking dice rolls, you bastards. You managed to get away from the greedy section of town, and you managed to get away from the lecherous side of town because they're just like creepy Amazon.
Oh,
Take those
when-
to my place.
It wasn't all dice roll. It was good planning and plotting and thinking.
That's true. There was thinking.
there was bad dice rolls too.
There were.
There were,
plenty of
but
those.
the ones that counted.
That's true.
The ones that made less complications.
Question.
Wow. I gotta do some
This
spinning.
is just
I got 40.
For moving forward, like when it comes to riding, that's survival, right?
I thought
Like animal stuff.
No, there's actually the riding skill.
Yeah, there should be a
Oh,
riding
I
skill.
see. Okay, I see that there.
Yeah.
Okay, right. The survival's like taking care of them.
Yeah, you could use that for like animal handling, or if you put points into knowledge animal handling.
Yeah.
Either or works. Survival is enough to know you need to feed them more than just grass to keep them healthy.
Gotcha.
It's not like every Western river where you just need to let them graze on wild grass.
Yes. So
that's
yeah,
what I do.
I got 40 experience. I gotta figure out what to do with now.
Oof.
Yeah.
I'm getting like Kel.
You bankrolled a bunch of it.
So, all right. But yeah, I think we kind of lay low, listen to see what's going on, and I'm sure the gods' hands will guide us somewhere.
The gods will find some mischief for you.
What does that mean, lay low?
It means you get to lay on the cool floor and not on the straw bed.
Nice.
Less fleas on the floor.
It means she got you on your knees. Lay low.
Now, whether or not you have company, that's up to you. But
now that you got crits, we need to do some lay low and stitch you up.
Yeah.
You just need
in
to
other
stretch
words,
it out.
no big performances in the street or running around showing off or any of that kind of stuff. Just kind of chill, not hiding, but we just don't want to draw a zoo to us.
Why not?
Completely understandable.
Well, we got to get our feet under us and figure out what's going on. We got we've got to figure out what we're doing, where we're going. We don't, like I said, we don't have our boat and crew, unfortunately. So
I'd rather get her feet under me.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
So now
there's totally eyes looking at you guys coming back into town, going, "Hey, didn't those guys have tons of coin? Let's stimulate the economy. If we slit their throats, they'll trickle down the economy, right?"
Except when we left town, we didn't have any coin.
That's the best part. But they know you guys were the ones who had coin.
Yes, but we also the story was we didn't necessarily say the coinage was being split. We said we were giving the coin to them.
Yep.
To save the city. So you read it straight value, you would assume we gave them all of the coin.
Which makes the other half of town think those are the traitors who worked for the band.
Well, the people that saved you from getting slaughtered.
Well, there is that third option. That's just the one that all the old mothers in town are saying, our boys didn't have to go out and die. Shut up, kids.
Exactly. So, yeah.
And honestly, except for the doctor, do we look like the kind of people who could hold on to coin for more than a night?
Probably not.
And we'll probably help the young ladies maybe find a slightly different look for their armor and gear.
Upgrade to some full hoplite gear.
Instead of, still keep the bow and everything, but, maybe not just so Amazon-y looking.
Switch out of the light leather and into something a little more bronze.
Yeah.
Hey, look, they have a pair of hoplites that follow them. They just carry a shield and a bow.
Right? So.
The shield is for when they're guarding the horses, and the bow is for when shit's got to hit the floor.
Yep. So yes, sadly it's now the 6 of us. So
yeah.
And so you guys pulled the wagon up towards the abandoned house and just made a cat noise, and she comes bounding down the chimney stack where she was hiding.
Pretty much. So very good. That turned out way better than I thought the whole evolution was going to.
I mean, a lot of the right rolls at the right time.
Etherian didn't get beat up again, so that's a good day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm talking from like start to finish, from the point we landed in the city to, riding out into the freaking wilds. I was thinking, yeah, we're screwed.
Yeah, at some point I figured.
Especially when the challenge went south so quick. It was going good, and then all of a sudden, oof, you played with your food too long.
Well, even with the challenge, I was ecstatic that we got to the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Versus versus other potential turn of events. So.
Yeah, when I just was like, when Ethereum went down last time, I was like, oh my gosh, this went horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah, but still, I gave almost as good as I got, and impressed the socks off of everyone.
Oh yeah,
so.
Seeing as you were single-handedly fighting a nemesis, I mean, you lasted a lot longer than I thought when you took the challenge.
Yeah, and sometimes losing is more graceful and turns out to work out better.
Yeah, I mean, look how it changed the story.
Yeah,
definitely got salvaged.
Now, we would have been screwed if you took one hit and went down, and then we would have been a bunch of weak cowards, and they would have butchered us. But because you held your own, they respected that.
And I finally proved that I was useful for something.
A punching bag?
Oh, you've always been.
Oh, you meant something else. Sorry.
A catalyst.
It's a gift. I'm more than just a loud mouth.
I know. But yeah, like I said, if they'd taken you out in like 1 hit, 2 hits, we would have been laughed at and been weaklings, and they would have probably slaughtered us.
But also it helped that we had a good doctor and a good musician.
Right?
Yep.
that because
very gracious of you to put us in the thank you speech.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like the Amazons that I love. I don't think we would have actually gotten them on our side if it weren't for the doctor's skills.
No, yeah, no, it all played together. Like I said, it all went like I said, way better than I anticipated. The whole evolution of the whole concept, I thought we were pretty much way over our head and screwed.
Yeah, it came together.
It was so not the direction I thought it'd go, but it was still a fun direction to go.
Oh shoot, I had no idea for most of the trip on like, okay, how do we do this? And it was all just things kind of happened and fell into place. It's like, oh, here's an opportunity. Shit, let's try it. What else can happen?
Exactly.
We're already going to die anyway, so worst case scenario.
Yeah, there was that point where it's like, might as well try.
Right? Because we're probably going to die, so worst case, somehow, by chance, we get really freaking lucky here. But yeah, I couldn't see any like straight up, oh, here's what we're going to do, and we're going to do this when we drive out of the city. Like, oh shit, yeah, we're way over our head.
Yeah, I came to that conclusion almost immediately.
Yeah. So I was sitting, watching, listening, playing it by ear, going, okay, well, just got to look for some random opening to occur. So, what are you posting? I'm up, moving around.
Talia just messaged in the group chat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So, not good news.
Yeah, she had to put her puppy to sleep.
Yeah, it sounded like he'd been struggling for a little bit. So
yeah, he's been having a rough last couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know how old he was, but he looked older and definitely overweight. So yeah.
As much as I'd love to stay in chat and spend my experience, my wife got home half an hour ago, so I should say hi to her before she goes to sleep.
Otherwise, it'll be another.
Good luck, my friend.
Yes, just don't mention the serving wench, okay?
Yeah.
No poems with that included.
Yeah. She was not home for that.
Yeah, no poems like that.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
All
Thank you.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night. Yep. I'm gonna head out too.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.